this deck, I made in a fever dream of a day when I had no idea what was up, what was down, and what was left and right.
Okay.
Because of that, I picked a commander with 2 sides. That is upside down and not upside down. Whatever that is.
Right side up.
Close enough. And so what this commander is Rune-Tail Kitsune Ascendant. And what this does, right away, nothing much. It's just a 2 generic, 1 white for a 2/2. Abilities don't even do anything right away, unless you have more than 30 health, in which commander you do. Because when you have more than 30 health or more, you flip him over, and you get a and then you get a Rune-Tail Ascendant. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to creatures you control.
Which is an enchantment, which is insane.
Legendary enchantment.
Yup. Which means you basically just have an enchantment in your command zone.
Yes, basically. And so my big goal of this deck, obviously, well, maybe not so obviously, actually, because the big goal of this deck isn't to just make a really big board state to fuck people up and just bully them. I can do that if I want. That's a background plan. That's something I can do if things are not going the way I want them to go. My main plan with this deck is just to stall time out and do an alternate win condition other than beating someone's face in.
Which is
that
insane.
That is my number one goal with it.
This is mono white at its finest.
And that was my entire goal. That is my entire goal. And in order to get the time, in order to do that, I have a lot of things in this deck is life gain. I have a lot of ways to gain life right away. Like, I have a Johnny's Welcome. 1 white mana, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, gain 1 life. Ashes of Abernaut. Whenever a creature dies, you gain 1 life. I mean, it also prevents players from casting spells from graveyard or activating abilities from graveyard.
Which shuts down an entire deck subtype.
Which is gonna, it just helps. It just helps. I know I have more. Oh. Authority of Consults. Creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. But whenever a creature enters the battlefield under opponent's control, gain 1 life. Boon Reflections. When you would gain a life, gain twice as much life. Stuff like that. I'm just gaining as much life as I possibly can right away.
So that you can be at 30 or more life just constantly.
Just to be sure that I'm at 30 or more. Because the moment I drop below 30 and I have to replay my commander, that's going to suck. I'm not going to have my commander out.
Yeah,
and he's not going to be able to do that thing.
It almost shuts down the entire deck not having the commander out.
And because of that, I got a little bit scared. So I believe I put in a card. Yes. Just because I got a little bit scared that I would get beat down real fast and then go back up and wouldn't get enough life gain, I put in Elspeth Knight Errant, who is a 2 monocolor, 2 white, legendary planeswalker, who +1 create 1 white soldier creature token. Extra bodies, nice.
Yeah.
Another +1, create a target creature gets +3/+3 and gains flying until end of turn.
That's nice.
Nice way to chip down at someone. And then the real thing, you just get an emblem with artifacts, creatures, enchantments, and lands you control have indestructible.
Which is insane.
Right? That is the number one reason I have her, and obviously. That is the number one reason I imagine anyone runs her. Because I am just trying to stall so I can at least get that up too. Because then I'm secured, alright? The commander was up there to help keep things in place, but now if the commander dies, I lose life. Everything is okay. That is my background check for my commander, if that makes sense.
Yes, yeah. I see the vision here. Plus, yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, it just prevents you from having any troubles.
No, that's the main goal, is to prevent me from getting troubles. Now, to help make sure of safety, and because I didn't know what quite to put in, I put in a couple of cards that I thought could be pretty good for this stuff. For help keeping me safe. for example, Guardian of the Gateless. What that does, it's four colorless, 1 white flying. Guardian of the Gateless can block any number of creatures, and when Guardian of the Gateless blocks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each creature it's blocking. So the big thing about this is that he is not dying. No matter what you throw at him, he is not dying.
And
he's
commander.
And commander. Yeah, no, that's why he's not dying. Is because of the commander.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The commander will make it to where he cannot take any damage, even if they're running Death Touch. Because no combat damage went through, he cannot die to Death Touch, because Death Touch means they have to take at least 1 damage.
Mm-hmm.
So he completely bypassed that. And so I have a bunch of cards like that in this deck where I'm just stopping people from stopping people from being really able to hit me to help keep my life up.
Yeah. It's the being able to block any number of creatures is extremely powerful in this deck, because it basically just means, hey, I can't take combat damage.
Mm-hmm. And it is just going to be super helpful.
For sure.
Let's see, anything else of value? All right. I guess you get the idea of that. I'm trying to keep myself safe. You know what? There's actually another way I need to point out that I'm keeping myself safe, and that is through taxes. I don't want you to hit me by paying taxes.
No one wants to pay taxes.
Exactly. Even if it's just by 1 mana, that makes you decide, I really don't want to swing in on this man. So what I have way too much of, really, is just whenever someone tries to attack me, tax them. Like Windborn Muse, 3 generic 1 white flying. Creatures can't attack you unless their controller pays 2 mana for each creature they control that's attacking you.
My favorite effect with this is the other side of Unstable Glyph Bridge, which is Sandswirl Wanderglyph. It's a 5/3 with flying. Whenever an opponent casts a spell during their turn, they can't attack you or planeswalkers you control this turn. And
then each
go on. Each opponent who attacked you or a planeswalker you control this turn can't cast spells.
So they really have to choose between punching me or being allowed to play the game. Yeah. And I think that's really funny.
It's a good card. And I mean, like, yes, it's 5 mana to play the card and then 5 mana to flip it. And you have to have an artifact on the battlefield or in your graveyard. But so worth it.
Not wrong. Now, I got all this time. I got all this ways of healing, obviously. I don't feel like I have to describe how many times I'm just gonna not die right away.
I mean, the fact that you're preventing all damage to creatures you control is just insane. Because, I mean, you don't have that many creatures in here, but you don't need that many. You actually do have another board wipe.
You do? Fuck.
Promise of Loyalty.
Promise of Loyalty?
It's 4 colorless mana, a white, for a sorcery. Each player puts a vow counter on a creature they control, then sacrifices the rest. And then every creature that has a vow counter on it can't attack you or planeswalkers you control.
Yes. I straight up forgot I put this card in here because it had too much text. I'm like, I'm not reading it. I need you... remember, guys,
but
I made this in a fever dream. Okay? Like, I could put Mass Calcify in here. That's what I can put in.
True. Mass
Destroy
Calcify.
all 9 white creatures. Easy.
That shit is good.
I can put that in, and then if I'm actually wanting to spend more money on this deck, I would either put in a Smothering Tide or a Trouble in Pairs.
Trouble in Pairs is a fun card.
Trouble in Pairs, I would put that in for a goofy little reason.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So if they're not paying it, do you want to hear the goofy little reason?
Yes, yes.
So this will start getting into the win con stuff, all right? But if I run Trouble in Pairs with Perch Protection.
Yep.
So what Perch Protection does is it's 4 generic, 2 white, gift an extra turn. I can promise an opponent a gift of an extra turn. If I do, they take an extra turn after this. They don't get a choice in this matter. They just have to accept the gift, or I choose if they get the gift or not. That's the funniest part.
It is.
And the gift, what happens after that is I create 4 2 blue bird creature tokens with flying. And if I promised a gift, all permanents you control phase out until end of turn. Your life total can't change, and you gain protection from everything. Exile the spell.
It's Teferi's protection, but so much funnier.
It's so much funnier. And then the main reason you would run that with Trouble in Pairs is if an opponent would begin an extra turn step, that player skips that turn instead.
Which is so funny, because then it's just Teferi's protection and birds.
Mm-hmm. Way more expensive, Teferi's protection, but still Teferi's protection.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you free birds in addition to the Teferi's protection thing.
You might ask, why the hell would I want a Teferi protection? You guys already know why. Armageddon. 3 colorless, 1 white, destroy all lands. Now you might ask, why am I being a monster and running this? Quitting is a way of winning. If everyone quits the game, I win the game.
Which is so fucking mean. And like,
if everyone quits the game, I win the game. It's that simple.
It's true. It's true. Fucking, when I saw Armageddon in here, I instantly was like, really?
Well, yeah, because it's like, fuck, I don't want my lands destroyed. That's stupid. And even then, I still put in Elspeth Knight Errant just in case I can't get Purge of Protection out, because then I just get her emblem out. Elspeth Knight Errant.
And then your lands don't get destroyed.
I ignore it anyway.
Ugh.
Now, what other weird win cons do I have? I have
a lot.
Angel of Destiny. When a creature you control deals combat to a player, or let me read the whole card like a smart person one. 3 generic, 2 white, 2/6 angel creature, flying double strike. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you and that player each gain that much life. Why would I want to swing with this? Because at the beginning of your end step, if you have at least 15 more life than your starting life total, each player Angel of Destiny attack this turn loses the game.
It's so insane.
A creature with flying that says if you gained more than 15 life total, which is going to be very easy with this deck. Literally, if I want to, every time I say easy with this deck to gain life, I could just point out another card that lets me gain life well. Because there's quite a few.
There is.
And then after that, classic Feldir Sovereign. 4 generic, 2 white, 4/6 Cat Beast, Vigilance Lifelink. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 40 or more life, you win the game.
It's a classic.
It's a commander staple, in my opinion.
It is.
In my opinion. White would win so many less games if it wasn't for this card.
True. Very true.
Let's see.
I love all these win cons because you literally put as many win cons in there as possible. Which means you have like the weirdest ones. Like where is it? Celestial Convergence. Which is 2 colorless, 2 white, comes into play with 7 omen counters. Beginning of your upkeep, remove an omen counter. If there's no omen counters, the player with the highest life total wins the game. And if 2 players are tied, the game's a draw.
Mm-hmm.
Which is so fucking funny, because you are gaining life in this, but like, the funniest part about this is if somehow someone is above your life total, you can't do anything about it because it's like your upkeep and you're just like, well, shit, they win the game.
The part that can make it funnier, in my opinion, is that if you're losing the game, say like you have 4 people at a table, okay? You're losing the game. You say, you know what? Fuck it. And you put it down, all attention that could have been on you is just shifted off you for a brief minute. Because that dude who's at the highest life total now wants to protect you. Because he's gonna win the game. 4 turns.
Which is crazy.
Unless you are losing so bad that they can just swing out and kill you, it is so funny to just put this down and make everyone go, okay, we need to go fight this guy now. Arch enemy time.
Yeah, that's just great. It's one of the funnier ones. I mean, near death experience is a classic stupid win con.
It's stupid, but it could happen.
Yeah. I mean, like, it is a win con. It's not to be sneezed at. But like, oh man.
It would work better if I know like there's cards that swap life total with insert thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like there's no way it's truly happening. The best you can do is if I think the easiest way to get this is the flip side of Chalice of Life, Chalice of Death. If you get that going on yourself, and you just get to any even number. Yeah, even number. Like if you just get to 6, and you activate it, that's the closest you're getting.
Yeah, true. And I mean, you can do it at instant speed, so you don't actually die.
Mm-hmm. Because the funniest part, when you have that out, no one's actually that scared of it happening.
No.
It is such a stupid fucking card. No one's worried about it. But you know what people would be worried about?
What?
Test of Endurance. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 50 or more life, you win the game.
Which is definitely plausible.
Mm-hmm. I think it's funny to just on your turn, when you already have a good fort set up, Test of Endurance, and then throw down Feldar Sovereign. And now they can't even just easily go, all right, just remove 1, we're fine.
They
have to have
a whole 2 removal spells.
Which isn't crazy to ask for, but it just makes it so much more expensive to deal with and more annoying.
Plus, I mean, you could just have Greater Oromancy out with Test of Endurance, and suddenly they can't do anything.
Have all 3 of those things out? Now they need 3 removal? Everything gets worse and worse.
It's insane.
Make sure that removal for Feldar doesn't do damage. Because otherwise it's not getting through. Now let's see. Let's see what the other win con. I mean, I'm going to put this under the win cons. It's more of a backup win con. Sarah Avatar.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it here because it's win con collection. 4 generic, 3 white, creature avatar, XX. Sarah Avatar's power and toughness are equal to your life total.
Easy peasy.
When Sarah's avatar is put into your graveyard from anywhere, shuffle into the owner's library. If you're going to have Sarah's, you're going to have Sarah's avatar pretty much as a backup, whether you like it or not.
Plus, I mean, worst case, it is a giant creature. Like, it doesn't even matter.
No, it's a giant creature. Imagine if there was a way to give it flying.
Oh my gosh. Elspeth Knights Errant.
Elspeth. A lot of this comes back to Elspeth's Knight's Era and how
It
that just
does. It
synergized
does.
really well for this deck. I put in a lot of commanders, not because I thought they were, or a lot of planeswalkers. Yes, a lot of commanders. A lot of planeswalkers, just because I was like, fuck it. They're all going to give great value for what I need.
You said Sarah Avatar, and I was reminded of a Johnny Goldmane's Ultimate, which is just create a white avatar, and its power and toughness are equal to your life total.
I mean, yeah, I'm going to eventually just make a bunch of Sarah avatars, theoretically.
Yeah.
And speaking of Johnny and Goldmane, I mostly put him in there not even for that, just for the simple gain 2 life. Not gonna lie.
Fair.
Just every turn guaranteed 2 life. Make sure I can get up to the life totals I need.
Plus, I mean, the -1 gives your creatures vigilance, which means no one's gonna get through.
No one's getting through. I obviously told you about Armageddon, as that's a win con.
Yeah.
What was I put in Halo Fountain,
which is so heavily unlikely in this deck.
I could theoretically get there. I have creatures that make or I have things that make tokens. That is how I have to get there. Even it makes tokens.
Yep. It's just really funny because, like, there is nothing about this deck that is, like, token central. There's 20 creatures in here. So, like, it's possible.
Like,
it is a win con.
Only the planeswalkers, that, and where is it? Where is he? I saw him for a second. Speaker of the Heavens can really make creatures. Speaker of the Heavens, just a 1-drop vigilance lifelink 1/1. Tap, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying. Activates the ability only if you have at least 7 or more life than your starting life total, and only as you could cast a sorcery.
And I mean, you're probably gonna have 7 or more above your life total.
Oh yeah, there's no way I'm not. I mean, I just want to make sure you understand. I put in Beacon of Immortality just because. Beacon of Immortality, 5 generic, 1 white, double target player's life total. Shuffle Beacon of Immortality into the owner's library.
Which is crazy.
I am going to stay alive. I have no idea what other win cons I even have in here at this point.
There's so many. Approach of the Second Sun.
Approach of the Second Sun. I think that might actually be the last one, if I'm being honest.
Maybe. I'll find another one. Because you have literally every single one in white that even relatively fits in here.
I might have to explain Approach of the Second Sun. You know what, Parker? You explain it. You're a smart guy.
Okay, fine. 6 generic, 1 white for sorcery that says if it was cast from your hand and you've cast another spell named Approach of the Second Sun, this game, you win the game. Otherwise, put this card into its owner's library, 7th from the top, and you gain 7 life.
Classic win con.
Absolutely. I mean, like,
if I had any way to draw cards, this would be way better.
Yeah, but honestly, the fact that it just takes so long, it takes 7 turns, just like Celestial Conversions. It's so funny because people are sitting there in suspense, probably not being able to do anything, because they're just sitting there being like,
It's like, they're not going to be able to swing at me with my $14,000 of taxes.
Okay, you are right. There is no more win cons that we haven't gone over.
No, yeah, like, that's all the win cons.
Well,
but that's all the white win cons I can put in there.
Yeah, I mean, Plus, there's Storm Herd, which is technically a win con.
Yeah, I could have. I just gotta say, I could have put in Aether Flux Reservoir. I was thinking about it, but I had to choose one card above. Like, I had to choose one expensive card to me, and instead of going with another win con, I was greedy and I wanted. Where are you?
Authority of the Consuls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I thought so. Aetherflux, to me, Aetherflux Reservoir is better because that gives me an actual outing for my health. Because if I run Aetherflux Reservoir, I could technically not only just, all right, I'm gonna nuke you at end of turn, but also I'm gonna be out 1 life. So then I'm going to near death experience win.
That would be funny as fuck.
That is the #1 way that I could win with near death experience if I had that. But then I feel like I'm comboing way too hard and too effectively, so I didn't have it.
The worst part is you don't only have taxes to prevent people from like not attacking you. You also have just ways that literally say creatures can't attack you.
No, yeah. I literally, what is his name? Blazing Archon. 6 generic. 3 white. Creature Archon 5/6. Flying. Creatures can't attack you.
Yup.
Just buying time. Swinging is no longer a problem I have to deal with while he's on the field. But something in my heart tells me that he's not going to be on the field for very long.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, worst case, it's a 9-mana distraction spell.
Fair.
Plus, I mean...
But then other than that, yeah.
With, like, not attacking you, that isn't the only one. There's, like, instants and sorceries as well. Like, Chronomantic Escape, what is it? Festival.
Mm-hmm.
What's the other one? There's one more, right? Maybe not.
Festival.
There might not be one more.
Out of, like, prevent all people from attacking? Not that I can truly name. I mean,
yeah.
Promise loyalty in a way.
True, yeah. Now, I see another terrifying card in here, and that is Phyrexian Vindicator.
Alright. I put Phyrexian Vindicator in here because it kind of goes on theme. But the other thing about it is, if I'm correct, I get to choose how it goes onto the stack. I get to choose which one triggers first.
I think so. Well, because... Okay, here. I literally just looked up the rules for it. If multiple replacement or prevention effects try to modify the damage that would be dealt to the creature, the controller of the creature chooses the order in which they apply.
Yeah, exactly.
So you I would
pick
right.
I get to pick Phyrexian Vindicator, and it still goes through, and you still take that damage. And now the real fun is that, say that someone is just gonna blast my face and, just cook my soul. Phyrexian Vindicator has one true purpose to me. If I can find the card, I swear to God, I put him in here. I put that card in here.
Pariah's Shield?
I believe it is Pariah's Shield. God, isn't it an enchantment?
Oh, Pariah?
Yeah, just Pariah.
Yeah, Pariah's good for this.
Because what Pariah will do... actually, can you just read what Pariah does really quick? For the people?
Yes. So it is 3 generic and 1 white for an enchantment aura that says if... Oh wait, no, it's 2 generic and a white. What? Okay. Enchant creature, all damage that would be dealt to you is dealt to enchanted creature instead. Which means, with your commander, you take 0 damage.
I take 0 damage. I just put that. I can put that onto any creature I want and just make myself effectively immortal for a brief period of time.
And
Until
if you put
they-
it on Phyrexian Vindicator, if they deal damage to you, then
I just immediately deal that damage straight back.
yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
It doesn't matter what you swing with. Phyrexian Vindicator will take all of it, and that's the real fun part I wanted to do with Pariahs. Just put that on there.
Yeah, that would be so funny. You know, it'd be even funnier? Putting Pariah on a card that already does the same effect, like Protector of the Crown.
You're not wrong. I was thinking it would be so funny to do that, but it is so dumb. Protector of the Crown literally does the same effect as Pariah, except it's already on a creature. A 2/5 that costs 5 generic, 1 white, giant soldier. And all damage would be dealt to you, would be dealt to Protector of the Crown instead. And you also kind of get to become Monarch.
Yeah.
There's my draw power. There it is.
White draw! Woo!
Woo! Beautiful.
So mean. Oh wait, we were talking about board wipes. Unstable Glyph Bridge is a board wipe.
Oh my god, you're right. It is a board wipe.
I mean, it's like pretty damn selective, but
I mean, you're not wrong, but that's also if I choose to use it in that form.
also,
I mean, I have to.
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah, you have to cast
Flip
it there, and then yeah, it's not a transformer. You can't just cast the other side.
Cringe.
Man, I want to make a transformer deck.
Eventually. I am trying to do as much as I can to slow you down from killing me.
It's just a classic mono white. It's just like this is mono white at its finest. Jeez.
This deck works really well for no reason. But the other thing you need to remember, it is really expensive, like mana cost wise.
It is. The average CMC is 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, you got 30 planes in here. I honestly might take out a couple cards just to put in some extra planes because, like, ooh.
You're not wrong.
It's calling it close.
But it might work the way it is because maybe what I was thinking is if I was going to take out a card, I'd take out a card to put in. Oh, where is it? I'm pretty sure it's an enchantment. I can't remember the name of the card. I still had ages ago looking to make the deck. Endless Horizons.
I don't even know what that card does.
It's a 4 mana, 3 white, 3 generic, 1 white. When Endless Horizons comes into play, search your library for any number of planes cards, and then remove them from the game. Then shuffle your library. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put 1 card from your own removed from the game with Endless Horizons into your hand.
That's stupid. That's
No, but it guarantees I'm getting a land per turn.
yeah.
Not to mention, I already do have in. Well, what was that? Man.
There's
Keeper of the Cord.
Yep.
Wait, not Keeper of the Cord. I don't think it is. Wait, it might be.
Yeah, it's
It showed different art for a second. So I got jump scared.
Oh.
Yeah. Where the main thing is that 4 cost, 3 generic, 1 white, 3/4 human soldier. At the beginning of your opponent's end step, if that player controls more creatures than you, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. At the beginning of each opponent's end step, if that player controls more lands than you may search your library for a basic plains card and put it onto the battlefield, tapped, then shuffled.
Craziest part about that card, just the planes goes onto the battlefield.
Mm-hmm. It's so crazy. It's beautiful. Even then, I have emergency ramp. Emergency, please let me ramp with my favorite removal, Path to Exile. Please, for the love of God, I need mana.
That would be so fun. I've never seen someone use Path to Exile on their own creature for a land, but God, I hope I do now, because that's so
I've
funny.
seen it once. I've seen
Really?
it once, and I was like, damn, that is a desperate day.
Like, that is so sad.
Bro's like, Soul Warden isn't cutting it today. Get me a land.
Yeah. Like, honestly, any turn 1 play in your hand is worth it to keep.
The moment you just turn 1 Soul Ring, no other mana, just 1 mana Soul Ring, that's it. It's like, this is workable. This is doable.
Yeah, I mean, like, turn 1 Soul Ring, turn 2 Commander. Like...
Not wrong, not wrong. But the problem is that your commander is just going to instantly turn into an art or an enchantment, making it to where you still have no creatures on board to block with yet.
Which is so stupid.
It's like, please, for the love of God, let me get any of my things that makes people not want to attack me. If you can get at all a Ghostly Prison, you can do a turn 2 Ghostly Prison, which I think is the smarter play than a turn 2 commander.
Yeah, honestly. Turn 2 Ghostly Prison is... like really good just overall, and in this deck it's even better because turn 2 Ghostly Prison, turn 3 Norn's Annex, turn 4 like Windborn Muse, like
Turn 5 Sphere of Safety.
it's like you don't even need to cast your commander. People won't attack you if they have to pay 7 to just attack you with 1 creature.
Yeah, they'll give up. They'll give up.
Especially if it is like turn 5 when you have like at least 1 prison effect. Most people won't want to attack you until like turn 10.
No, they're literally just like, I'm just gonna ignore you for now. You are not worth my time. It is so funny.
It's crazy. I don't want to fight this deck.
Yeah, you're gonna fight it eventually. I'm gonna make this deck eventually.
Oh god.
It's gonna suck. Here's the problem. You already know how this deck's gonna go, so you know how to deal with it. This is a surprise deck. Like, what the fuck am I fighting?
That's fair. Honestly, there's not even a way to deal with it. Like, I'm
what
thinking
do you
about
mean?
it.
Just first of all, Life Switcher.
Oh.
I sit there and cry as you take all my life.
If you haven't watched the life switching video, that's our first video.
Neat little plug right there. Watch it. Click the link on screen. Parker, put a link on screen. Put a link on screen. Put 10 links on screen.
No.
I don't think I will.
Perfect.
All right. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thanks for watching. I won't see you guys next time. I won't.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I'm going to specifically not be here for this next video.
We'll see.
Unless no one shows up. Unless no one shows up, as they usually don't.
Oh, yeah. True.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, talk to you later.
Peace.